The All-Star Circuit of Champions Sprint Cars made a stop at Mercer Raceway Park on Saturday night.
Let's take a look at their 30-lap, $5,000 to win A-Main. It took 3 attempts to get this race underway. The 27 of Darren Pittman jumped to the lead from the pole position. The C3 of Rod George works the outside of 1 and 2, while the red 83 of Tim Schaefer settled into the 3rd spot. Going through 3 and 4, Schaefer is able to hug the bottom and rocket into 2nd place ahead of George. He briefly closes on the leader going into turn 1. A couple of laps in, Jack Soderman Jr. in the 23 makes things interesting with this attempt to pass Scott Priester in the 15 and the 45 of Paul McMahon. McMahon falls back while Soderman and Priester run wheel to wheel. Danny Holtgraver in the D4 gets by George to move into the 3rd position with 3 laps down. By lap 10, Pittman is encountering traffic, which allows Schaefer to close on the 27 machine. Del Blaney in the red number 2 got by George nearing the halfway point to move into 4th place. Pittman, Schaefer, and Holtgraver pulled away from the rest of the field before a caution came out on lap 16 for debris on the track. On the restart, Schaefer looks high, then dives under Pittman in turn 1, but Pittman is able to power off of the turn to retain the lead. With 3 laps to go, Pittman is slowed by more traffic. Just as Schaefer closed on his tail, Pittman began to pull away again. On the last lap, things get tight between Schaefer, Holtgraver, and Blaney in a battle for 2nd, but they could not catch Darren Pittman as he goes on to take the checkers. It was his 3rd All-Star win of the season and 8th of his career. Holtgraver beat Schaefer to the line to finish 2nd. Blaney came home 4th with Rod George in 5th. In the Outlaw Sprint Warriors, the 16 of Jimmy Morris led the field to the green. Quickly, Michael Bauer in the 46 is able to charge into 2nd, but in 1 and 2, he is challenged on the inside by the 52 of Chris Matthews. The 17 of Justin Weitzel gains a couple of spots, then closes on Bauer before spinning to bring out the yellow flag. On the restart, Bauer sets up to the outside of Matthews going into 1 and 2. He uses the momentum off of the top groove to shoot by Matthews and into 2nd place. One of the strongest cars during the event was the 38 of Dennis Wagner. After gaining a few spots, here he chases the 5 of Bob McMillan and keeps the G1 of Mike Miller at bay. McMillan loses the spot to Wagner in turn 3. After a couple of cautions in the middle stages of the race, Morris still held the lead over Bauer with Matthews in 3rd and Rob Felix in 4th. Wagner pressured the 08 of Andy Field for the 5th spot. The top 4 remained steady as Jimmy Morris went on to claim the victory. Bauer, Matthews, and Felix were 2nd through 4th. Wagner got by Field to finish 5th. In the stock car feature at Mercer, outside pole sitter Chad O'Brien gets to the line first as we get underway. The 29 of Curtis J. Bish works the outside of Brandon Johnston's 14 in a battle for 2nd off of turn 2 and down the backstretch. After an early caution, the 80 of Tommy Fox and 17M of Rusty Moore get by Johnston as they charge to the front of the field. After a lap 2 caution, Fox would follow in O'Brien's tire tracks going into 1. Bish falls back to 3rd as Moore races to his inside down the backstretch. As they are about to enter 3 and 4, Fox hugs the bottom, then powers off and under O'Brien to take the lead. Through a few cautions and even a red flag, Fox held the lead over Moore and Bish, and Tommy Fox would extend the lead on his way to victory lane. Crossing the line behind him were Moore, Bish, Bob McCann, and Jeff Brusella. And in the mini-stocks, Steve Longwell Sr. bested his son for the victory. Early leader Ed Haylett came home 3rd ahead of Joel Whistler and Leo Hanlon.
That was my first time to Mercer. I was very impressed with the size of the crowd. They obviously have a very loyal following.
Coming up in the next segment, we will go back to Clinton County Raceway for more highlights from Friday evening.
As we go to break, here are some more special events for the remainder of the racing season.
On September 14th and 15th, PPMS holds the Pittsburgher. Among the classes that will be in action for the 2 days will be the ULMS late models, 410 sprints, and BRP modifieds. On Saturday, September 15th, $50,000 is on the line for the winner of the BPG Racing Freedom 76 at Grandview Speedway. That's right, the best dirt modified drivers in the East will vie for the $50,000 top prize. It's the 7th Annual Fall Classic at McKean County Raceway on September 21st and 22nd. The lineup will include feature events for the ULMS late models, UEMS modifieds, and fast track late models. And the World of Outlaws sprint cars return to Lernerville Speedway for the Commonwealth Clash on Saturday, September the 22nd. Craig Delansky and Tony Stewart took the twin 30-lap A-mains during their last stop in July for the Don Martin Memorial Silver Cup event.
When you think golf carts, think Jake's Custom Golf Carts. With over 300 stock and lifted carts at their shop, you'll find the cart you need or have Jake's build one to your specs. Custom airbrushing, lift kits, sport shifters, rear seats. You name it, with the expertise and craftsmanship people have come to expect from Jake's. Come see for yourself why Jake's is the nation's premier golf cart provider. Jake's Golf Carts, Route 522 McVeigh Town. Online at jakesgolfcarts.com.